Guys, how he's going? John from Solo Boss. I'm turning into not so much Solo Boss. We've got a new employee now. So we're just going to do a truck talk today. Talk about stuff that's been going on, projects and money and all that type of stuff. So just have a little conversation. Just a little bit of a vlog for me to reflect on later on down the track, something like that. But so the website's moving great. Our SEO is starting to pop really good now, month over month. We're number one for concrete cleaning in our area, which is pushing everything else up. We're number 2 on our pressure washing keyword. We're number 5 on our roof cleaning keyword, which I think is what we're focusing on next to push that up. And all the other keywords that go with those is everything's pushing up. Like we got nearly 13, 14 keywords on that top page, and they're not just on the top page, they're within the top 7. Some of them are 5, 4, 5, 3s, 2s and 1s. So it's really good. Coming up that way, we're getting a lot of leads. We're starting to get 50-50 or just over 50-50 Google ads and SEO, which are coming off the website. So it's really promising. Whether we turn our Google ads off later, or we just keep pumping our Google ads and just keep pumping our SEO for another year or two, just to see how the new employee goes. But we are starting to make some really good business connections. We've got 2 builders on the books that do renovations. So we go in and clean their houses now for their renos. So they're giving me constant work. We've been doing the Defence Force housing. So we've just got in contact with the builder that manages all that. So what they do is they contract the cleaning, internal cleaning out, and they contract the pressure washing, which is what I do. So they contract all that out to other companies. So I've got in contact with the builder itself, the guy who runs the gig, because they get contracted to another building company to do that part. And so I've started doing all his work, and he manages a ton of body corporates. So within building that relationship over the last week, we've already quoted one body corporate for $2,000. I went over yesterday, washed his roof, and then a $1,000 job turned into an $8,000 repaint on the roof. And then the wife come home, and then she's like, I want the house done, I want the pavers done. And I'm just like, yep, you tell me what you want to do and we'll just send the bill. It's a square meter rate. It doesn't change. Whatever the square meters is what the bill is. So we're pretty down the line with our prices. That way, even if it's a due and charge, they can kind of work out what we're charging for that period. So culturing or building contacts like that from builders and stuff that you trust, and you kind of dip your toes in there and you work with them a little bit. But this guy's a builder slash landscaper, so it works in hand, because then he's doing all the gardens on these body corporates, and then he's turning around like, oh well, we can clean up the building for you and we can do the driveways. And then he gets me the quote and puts a little bit on top, whatever he does. I don't care. As long as I get the price that I want and the jobs are getting done right, body corporates are happy, everybody's happy, everybody gets paid. So that's been happening. Going away from pressure washing, we had 2 roofs booked in, one next week and the one week after. And then we turned another, well, the customer rang me up and said, hey, I was just reading your quote and you put an optional extra up there to repaint the roof, and I'm thinking, and I'm more leaning towards doing that than washing the roof. I'm like, that's all right. What we can do is we can pressure wash the roof, get it ready for the repaint, and then if it looks bad, which I guarantee it's gonna look bad when I talk to him, because he's like, I already see orange on the roof when the roof is grey. And I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be more prominent once I clean it. He's like, yeah, I think we'll just paint it. So that was another job that turned from $1,000 into just over $7,000 repaint. So repainting in the pressure washing world is pretty good money. It's pretty easy. You just get up and you spray it with a long lance and stuff. So it's pretty easy to do. It's not too hard. But once again, we turned 2 roofs so far, and we got 6 that we got to book in. And I don't know when I can't even put a job in this week because I'm so full. I'm so full I can't even film this week because I'm just doing 3 to 4 jobs a day, and I don't have time to pull out a camera and film because they're pretty big jobs. Like today, it alone is a $2,500 day, and I'm by myself, and I'm working all day, so it's good. On the other note, like, we've been doing a lot of body corporates and a lot of real estates and a couple of builders. So you got to watch your cash flow, and we weren't managing our cash flow. You know, I went out and bought a vacuum reclaim system, so I dropped, 18 grand on that. So I emptied the bank account. It was my fault. We still got we had 10 grand in there yesterday from expenses, and then we paid SEO, we paid the truck payment, we paid a paint bill on a roof, getting paint ready, and then it was just 8.5 grand gone, just like that, over one day. And then you're like, oh shit. And then you turn around and look at Jobber, or the CRM that I use, and we got 18 grand owing. And I'm like, oh shit, I hope those guys pay. And then all day yesterday is just little notification, because I got my notifications on every time somebody pays me. It's like a bing, 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 bing. And then over the course of one day is like 6 grand comes in, and I'm like, yes, that's much better. Because dropping 8.5 grand, which we do every month, because by the time SEO comes out, Google Ads comes out, it's easy to drop 8 grand in one day. So we always make sure we try and run a $20,000 bank account, and then everything over that gets pushed into tax or gets pushed into different projects or expanding or holidays or whatever we're doing at the present moment. So we always try and keep that $20,000 buffer, especially when you're doing body corporates and they're large body corporates. If you're only doing small ones, you probably be able to get away with 10,000. But when you're spending, thousands of dollars in marketing every month, you want to make sure you got a nice bank flow there. So it's all about making sure you got to get to your comfort zone where when you're first starting, it might be $5,000. That's my buffer. I don't spend anything once I get down to that. Everything over that, then I start stocking up on parts, pumps, and then once I got all that into play, I got all my backup gear ready to go, then I'll get to 10,000. 10,000 is my next buffer. Once I get to that, and then I start making some good jobs, I might put $4,000 or $5,000 aside for a new pump, just in case one goes down. You got it over to the side. But you always want to keep those buffers, because as you grow and scale, your bills just get larger and larger. So one key thing that I do is every year over winter, I will report my bank card stolen, and I make sure I got about $6,000 cash on me, and I report my bank card stolen, I wait for a new one to come out. It normally takes about a week or 2 weeks to come out. And that tells you all your little transactions that start coming out of your bank account. And then you start sorting through what little payments you need and what payments you don't need, because then you can work out, oh, I'm still paying for such and such advertisement and it's not getting me any work, so now I'm going to ring them up and cancel that because it's not getting me any work. Or I'm still paying for a Google review platform, but it's not getting me any reviews on Google, so I'm going to cancel that and go a different pathway. So it's always good to do that every year or every 2 years and try and chop down, because if you turn around, you'll probably look at your bank account statement and you'll have $300-400 a month just disappearing into stupid things that you don't need and don't use anymore. So always better to culture that, cut it out, cull it, and then push that money into something else. Like I'm paying for a service at the moment, which is Birdseye. It was great at the start. I looked at it yesterday. They said that I should have 238 Google reviews, but I've only got 134 reviews. So I engaged them because I thought they were going to be good for me and they were going to keep my reviews on the platform and help me get those reviews back, but they didn't do anything. So that's a $400 fee that I'm paying every month, and I don't see the benefit in it anymore. So that's one fee that I'm cutting this month. It's gone, and that $400 I'll put back in my bank. I'll do something else with it. I might even look at doing radio ads or something and trialing something else out to see if it works, because most of my money goes on SEO or Google ads. That's the two places that I get all my leads from, other than doing my job and my word of mouth, and then that is building up quite large after we're in our 3rd year now. So it's starting to really roll in, where you getting these people like, oh yeah, this such and such did my house last time, and then you get that job coming in pretty good. So that's what's been going on.